Here, Lacey, what did you think about the Huskies on Saturday? Did they not face tough enough opponents throughout the year, or did they have a bad day?
Oh, you guys kind of already hit on it. I mean, like I said, I think their offense was not clicking. I think they had a bad day for sure. Defense, when Azim Victor went down, tough one there. Does anyone know what ended up happening to him?
I don't have the injury report on him, but I know losing a player like him is a big deal for
big
that
deal
team.
For the defense. Might have rattled them there. Yeah, I think it was just an off night for the Dogs. But last week I talked about how I would love to see them face one of these top-notch teams in Alabama.
Victor he underwent surgery for a leg fracture, so it's not as bad as we thought, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would have loved to see UW face one of these top teams like Alabama or Clemson, but USC brought it to them, and now after watching that game, I don't know how the Dogs would face against one of the top teams.
Very good. That leads into our next topic. Luckily for UW, they were 3 of the top 4 teams lost last Saturday. They fell to number 6, I believe, in the rankings. Does the team still have a chance of making the college football playoff, or did they just ruin their playoff hopes?
Well, Clemson and Louisville, both coming out of the ACC. Louisville's lost to Clemson, and Clemson just fell to Pitt. So who's going to take that conference title? We don't know. That'll be a fun one. But regardless, I think both of those teams are worthy of the top 4. Ohio State and Michigan are coming from the Big Ten, and they still have to play each other in conference, so one of them is going to drop out for sure there. Alabama's untouched. They're not going anywhere. At this point,
they could be the Browns at this point, I think.
Yeah.
At this point, the Dogs have a very slim chance of the playoff run, I think, and that's even assuming that they win out. They still got to face the Cougars, and that's not going to be an easy one.
Right. Kellen, what do you think?
I think, honestly, if the Huskies win out, I think they will make the playoffs.
Wow.
I really want WSU to beat Colorado because I think it'll make the Huskies beating the Cougs in Pullman even better, even that much more impressive. And so I think the Huskies are still a great team. You watch that game. I watched it with my dad because we had recorded it. Obviously, we played against Linfield. And there was still a lot of momentum for the Huskies to come back in that football game. But like Drew mentioned, Jake Browning just did not play his greatest game, and he needed to against that defense. Yeah. But he underthrew a lot of receivers. They were open. You watch John Ross, break Adoree Jackson's ankles at one point. Adoree Jackson posts this on Twitter. He can laugh at himself. It's one of those deals where if Browning hits his receivers when he needed to, that game, there's more light bulbs on UW's scoreboard than USC's, in my opinion.
Drew, what do you think? They in or out if they win out?
Completely out.
Yeah.
Completely out. There's no chance. Not a bat's chance in Hades.
That's fair. All right.
I mean,
Christian, what do you think?
I think that they are most likely out of the playoffs. I mean, the Pac-12 isn't getting enough credit for what it is. Some of that West Coast. And it's just part of the stuff we don't realize, because we're on the West Coast, a lot of people are asleep when this Husky team plays. Like, it's a thing. Like,
hence Christian McCaffrey being robbed from the Heisman.
It's 1 a.m. there. They don't get to see these people play. There's no credit given. Like you said, Kellen, the 2 teams in the top 4 lost to unranked opponent this weekend, but they stayed ahead of Washington in the rankings. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
USC was ranked.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense that those teams are still ahead of Washington. Washington lost to a ranked team. Those 2 teams didn't. Come on.
It goes back to strength of schedule and to look ahead. If UW loses to Wazoo, like I think they just may, if UW loses to Wazoo in the Apple Cup, they're going to drop like LSU.
Well, if
they're going to drop like a rock.
If the Huskies want a chance in the college football playoffs, they have to win out, and there's no answer for them losing.
It's just crazy to think that one loss to a ranked team and you're still not. That's why I think there should be 8 teams.
Got to keep it special. Got to keep it important. All right, let's move forward.
8 teams.